Hi there, it is Michelle from Knitting on the Side, and today is Monday. I think it's April the 27th, and I haven't talked to you guys since the 18th, so like 9 days. And I have been pretty busy in those 9 days. Um, One day we spent all day driving in the vehicle, and so I did a lot of knitting until it got too dark or until I had to navigate through the cities. So I got quite a bit done that day, and then all week long we've been getting a water well drilled. So we've had to be on site, and it's been noisy. So I haven't done any filming. That's why for the 9 days. So I thought I'd catch you up on some of the things that I've been working on. As far as my new yarn project, I had planned to do the Anker Tee from Petiteknit. Little picture of it. It's kind of hard to see because it's in black and white, but even the photo on the website is in a white shirt. It's kind of hard to see either way. And I am making mine in the Drops Safran, 100% cotton. The color number is 67. It's kind of a beautiful butterscotch color. And I started this and got quite a bit done in one day, and I've just kind of been tinkering at it a little bit here and there since then. And here is my progress thus far. It starts with an Italian tubular cast on, and when I do those I have to watch a video every single time because I cannot remember. I don't do it often enough. And I was watching one video and started to actually do the first working row. It wasn't working out for me, so I had to find a different tutorial and work from it. And when I got almost done putting stitches on the needle, I had twisted the wrong way or something, so I undid a few stitches, and then I went back and put them back on and did not count correctly. So I cast on too many stitches at the beginning. It's small yarn, small stitches. It's not going to make a world of difference. And then in this first section of increases, I thought, well, I'll just leave out the 2 stitches that I increased. The pattern, you do 2 stitches and an increase, 2 stitches and an increase. And because I had 2 extra stitches, that gives me doing 1 extra increase. But my brain, I thought, I'll just leave out 2 increases, it'll be fine. I get clear around to the end and I've got 1 extra stitch. I'm like, what in the world's going on? So I counted again. Then it dawned on me, I had 2 extra stitches to start with. That's going to make me do an extra increase. And I thought, it's not worth taking that row out and trying to distribute the 3 stitches differently. So I just knitted 2 together and went on with my life. And I don't think you're going to be able to see that once this is washed and blocked. Plus, I have long hair. It's going to cover it up. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to even notice that at all. I just went on with it. Once I got my stitch count right, then everything's working out fine. But it's zipping along pretty good. It's really easy right now because it's just knit 1 purl 1 ribbing. So, and then you every so often do some increases. Happy with it. I'm on my first ball and I'm almost through the first ball, and I should have plenty. Got 8 balls and it shouldn't take all of them. And then for my old or stash yarn, I had planned to start the mixed rib cami. I haven't started that one yet because I went with the other project first, the Sophie Scarf that I had planned to do. And using these 2 lace weight yarns held together, making a Sophie Scarf. I got to about this point right in here and decided that was wide enough. It fit my needle perfectly. It's plenty wide for a scarf. The person that I think I'm going to give this to is kind of a hot-blooded person anyways. I don't think she would need a very wide scarf. So I thought, well, I'm just going to stop increasing and just work straight for a while. And I had used about 9.5 grams of yarn for the increase side of it up to this point where I stopped increasing. 9.5 grams from each ball, and I've got 2 of them. So I am at the point where I'm going to work until I have about 10 grams of this yarn left of each one, and then I will start the decrease portion. And that way I should have plenty of yarn left to do all the decreases, and then have a little bit left that I can give with the scarf for, like, if it needs a repair or something later. And that way she'd have a scrap of the yarn to repair it with, so it'll match perfectly. And that will use up all that lace weight, which would be nice. It's working out pretty good. Every once in a while, when I make a stitch, I don't get both yarns wrapped around. So then, like on the following stitch, on the next row, I have to go back in and fix it. That slows me down just a little bit, but that's kind of the risk you take when you're working with 2 yarns held together. So. And on my scrap yarn project, I showed you the other day that I had some big twist value in aqua ombre, and I was going to make baby hats, and I did make baby hats. I had enough yarn to get 2 hats out of it, and not enough for another hat, but I did have enough to make a pom-pom. I've made the pom-pom, but I haven't trimmed it down to a circular shape yet. When you make those things on the pom-pom maker that I have, they come out really awkward looking. So I'm going to have to trim it up into an actually circular shape, and then I'll sew it on and have a finished hat. This was not a priority right away because it's just going to go in the donation stack anyway, so I'll do that later on. When I am trimming up a pom-pom, I start with something that big, and it gets way smaller by the time I get done, it seems like, because you start trimming away, and then you think, oh, it's lopsided over there, and you trim some more, and then it's lopsided over here. Seems like a never-ending battle to get them actually circular shaped. Plus, I only had small scissors with me, and I think it's easier to shape the pom-pom if I have like my sewing shears that are longer, to be able to kind of curve around a little bit instead of just a little chop, 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 chop. You might see a little lighting change. I had to close one door and open the other because I've got a breeze going on out here, and the door decided it didn't want to be open on that side. So I pulled out another scrap of yarn. That's a Bernat Barilla 4. It is a variegated blue color, and I had enough of it to make 1 baby hat and 2 pom-poms. And they are not trimmed up either yet. But I will put one on this hat, and then I'll save the other pom-pom, and if I make like a solid blue hat or white or something like that, I'll stick it on there for a little pop on it. That way I don't waste anything. Don't like to waste anything. And then also on my scrap yarn projects, I know I told you that I plan to make the Florence bag. And so when we spent the day driving, I worked on the Florence bag. And I got the bag done. Kind of. I haven't sewn in a zipper, a liner, I haven't put a handle on it yet, but I got all the knitting done. And it looks kind of weird right now because it doesn't have all the finishing touches done, but here's the knitted part of the Florence bag. I followed the pattern exactly. This is the larger size bag. It looks really kind of small, and if I had realized how small it was going to actually end up after you got done with the decreases, I might have made it a little bit larger, like longer through the side before I did the decreases. I don't know. But I did get that part done. I still had yarn left, So I decided to make a coin purse to go with it. And I made the smaller size of the coin purse. The bigger size would probably be about here, and then taller. And I didn't really need one that big. I kind of wanted it to be able to fit inside the bag comfortably. So I went with the smaller size. And, excuse me, when I got to the bottom, I did one extra round of stockinette stitch before I grafted the bottom shut, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know if it'd help or not, but so that it's not really on the lace part so much on the bottom. I don't know. When I was making it, my brain thought it would make more sense. But it still needs a zipper and a liner as well. I still had yarn left, and I thought a case for my sunglasses would be nice. So I took my sunglasses and I stuck them in the bag, the coin purse, and I kind of just pinched off what I thought would be a good size for sunglasses and figured up how many stitches I needed to make it. So then I basically followed the same pattern as the coin purse and made it just skinnier. I did extra stockinette up here at the top because I plan to fold it down. I'm not going to put a zipper in an eyeglass case, but I thought if I sewed that down and had that little extra lip on there, it would hold your glasses in because it'd be an edge to catch on a little bit, and it would look nicer instead of having that curled edge to have it sewn in there like that, basically. And then I just made it long enough for my sunglasses to fit in it, and then I did 2 extra rounds of stockinette before I grafted it shut, just because it seemed like it looked a little bit better with a little more stockinette down here. Then I will probably use flannel to line this, just so it'll be gentler on my lenses on my sunglasses. I usually buy the cheap plastic ones so I don't want to scratch them up too fast. I buy the plastic ones because I drop them all the time. Don't want to buy any kind of Ray-Bans or nothing like that. And then for the bag and the coin purse, I'll probably use like a woven cotton lining for them. I don't know if I'll use cotton or more of a satiny type. Haven't decided. So this is going to go in my UFOs until I figure out exactly which lining, zippers, handles, things like that I want to put on it. Have just a little bit of yarn left. Not very much. This is Twister Solid from Hobbii, and the color is number 127. It's kind of a denim blue. I'm going to save this yarn with these until I get completely done, because I don't know, like adding the handle, if I want to make like a little tab on the end to sew the handle on with out of matching yarn. And so until I decide completely on the finishing that I want to do with this, I'm going to keep that together because I might need it. I don't want to use it on something else and then go, oh crap, I don't have any more. So that's going to sit aside for a while until I decide the complete finishing touches on it. The UFO project that I had pulled out to work on was my Splendor Circle Coat. I have not been able to work on that this week because it's such a big project. Didn't want to carry it around with me, and we've been coming to this property to hang out while they're drilling the well. Didn't want to drag it along, and then when we get home it's late and I have to cook dinner, wash dishes, all the things that you have to do, so I haven't really spent any time working on that. So it is just kind of sitting there in the way on hold right now. But I did pick up my sock project and work on it. I don't know if you remember the Petal drop socks. The last time I showed them to you, I had only been working on the first sock, and I was right about here at this stitch marker. So I finished the toe and got it grafted shut. I have not yet woven the ends in because I want to get both socks finished, and then put them on and wear them a little bit, make sure that I'm happy with how long I've made them. I have made socks in the past that I got completely done, sewed them up, put them on, wore them for a while, and then decided I had made them a little too short. And I don't want to do that again. It's a lot of work to make a pair of socks. I don't want to make them too short and then not lengthen them if I need to. So I'm going to just leave that end not woven in. It'll be easier to find it if I need to unravel it and add more length. But I did start on the second sock. I've gotten down here to where I'm working on gusset decreases. And so I have to think about when I'm doing a round if I am supposed to decrease on that round, because you decrease a round and then you knit around without decreases. But then I've also got the lace pattern that goes across the instep. So I'm thinking about if I have to decrease on the decrease round, plus do I need to do a lace round? And once I get past all of the decreases for the gusset, then it'll be a little bit quicker because I only have to think about the lace part and which rounds I need to do the eyelets for the lace. So, and it's not something that you do have to do every single round. You just do it every so often, but you do have to think about it. And so it slows me down just a little bit because I have to stop and look and think about what I'm doing. Vanilla socks go faster. And I'm kind of going to change up my plans just a little bit because we went shopping yesterday and I found this on clearance for $17. Usually it's over $27, so I grabbed a ball of it, a cake. I've got a niece that is pregnant and she's expecting a little boy towards the end of July. So I thought it would be fun to make her a blanket with this for the baby. They had a more pastel kind of color there as well, but I am more about the bright colors. So we went with the bright color. Plus, being a boy, I think it would be more appropriate for the bright color rather than the pastels. So I'm going to slip this into my project rotation and knit a blanket out of it. You can knit or crochet. There's a pattern on the inside of the label, and I'm just going to follow the pattern that's on the label and go with it. Shouldn't take too long. 547 yards. So, plus it's big needles, so it's going to make pretty good size pretty quickly. That is going to interrupt the plans that I had previously made. But anyways, that is what I have been working on all this past week, and I'm really happy with how everything's working up. I think I'll go ahead and once I turn off the video, I think I'll go ahead and get those pom-poms made and finish the hats completely off and throw them in the donation piles. See how much it's growing, and I think I might go over there and find a few more scraps and make a few more baby hats. I don't know yet. Since I'm going to do the blanket, maybe I should focus on that and not pull out any extra yarn yet, but I don't know. I just do it all on a whim anyways. So I will talk to you guys next time. Have a wonderful day and see ya. Bye.